Have you ever asked yourself, how long can you live after 70? These habits decide it? What if your future isn't written in the stars, but in the daily choices you make? And here's the surprising part. Your body is already sending signals about just how many vibrant years you may have left. In this video, we'll uncover 7 powerful signs that reveal your potential for a long, healthy life, supported by science and real-life stories. From the way you move to the thoughts you carry, these signs could reshape the way you see your future. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share one simple habit you can start today that boosts all 7 signs and helps you add more years to your life. Before we begin, I'd truly appreciate your support. If you enjoy this video, please like it so I can continue sharing lessons on healthy aging. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. To give me feedback, comment number 1 if you like this video or number 0 if you don't. I'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get started. First, let's talk about physical mobility and strength. What should you look for? Notice how easily you can handle daily activities. Can you walk briskly for 10 to 15 minutes without feeling out of breath? Climb a flight of stairs without holding the railing too tightly? Or stand up from a chair without needing your hands? Even something as simple as your grip strength can be a powerful clue. Can you open a stubborn jar, carry grocery bags, or hold onto objects firmly without strain? Test your balance too. Try standing on one leg for a few seconds. These simple actions reveal your coordination and muscle control. Why does this matter? Physical mobility and strength are the cornerstones of healthy aging, linked to muscle mass, bone density, and skeletal health. They help you stay independent, prevent falls, and keep your vitality strong. A landmark 2015 study in the Journals of Gerontology found that walking speed and the ability to rise from a chair were powerful predictors of life expectancy. Those who walked slower than 0.8 meters per second or struggled with basic movements faced a much higher risk of death within 5 to 10 years. Muscle loss, or sarcopenia, accelerates after age 60, with a 3 to 5% decline per decade unless countered by activity. This not only weakens the body, but also raises the chance of falls, fractures, and long-term disability. The good news? Regular exercise, especially strength and balance training, can slow or even reverse this decline, preserving mobility and independence. Declining mobility is also a warning sign of hidden health issues. Take osteoporosis, for example. It affects about 25% of women and 5% of men over 65, weakening bones, making fractures more likely, and recovery far more difficult. Cardiovascular decline often shows up as reduced stamina or shortness of breath, signs that the heart and lungs aren't delivering oxygen as well as they should. The good news is that targeted action can still make a big difference, even later in life. A 2009 study in the New England Journal of Medicine followed adults in their 70s who began resistance training. They not only gained muscle mass, but also lived longer and maintained independence compared to those who stayed sedentary. Simple activities, walking 30 minutes most days, gardening, or practicing yoga, can strengthen muscles, improve flexibility, and boost balance. Even walking at a moderate pace, around 3 to 4 miles per hour, burns calories, supports the heart, and builds endurance. Everyday chores like vacuuming or carrying laundry also count if done consistently. Mobility limitations don't have to mean the end of independence. Conditions like osteoarthritis, which affects over 30% of older adults, can cause stiffness and pain. Yet with proper management, physical therapy, medication, or supportive devices, many continue to thrive. The real key is consistency. Staying as active as possible within your limits is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Whether it's a workout, a walk in the garden, or simply keeping up with household tasks, each step helps stack the odds in your favor for a vibrant, independent future. 2. Cognitive function. How sharp does your mind feel in daily life? Do you find yourself forgetting names or misplacing keys more often? Or is your memory still reliable for recent events, like what you had for breakfast or a conversation from yesterday? Can you take on new mental challenges, learning a smartphone app, following a recipe, or picking up a hobby without too much frustration? Even your ability to focus in conversations or make decisions is a telling sign of cognitive clarity. Why does this matter? Cognitive health is one of the strongest pillars of longevity and quality of life. While the brain naturally changes with age, maintaining sharpness can greatly influence not only how long, but how well you live. A 2021 study in Lancet Healthy Longevity followed 3,600 adults over 90 and found that those with higher cognitive test scores, measuring memory, attention, and problem solving, were more likely to live longer. Normal aging may mean occasionally struggling to find the right word or needing more time to process information. But when memory loss, confusion, or trouble with familiar tasks become frequent, it may signal conditions like mild cognitive impairment or dementia. Dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, affects around 10% of people over 65 and nearly 30% over 85, often cutting years off life expectancy if left untreated. Early detection and lifestyle changes can slow decline and improve outcomes. After 70, the brain naturally shrinks slightly, about 0.5 to 1% a year in regions like the hippocampus, vital for memory, while communication between neurons may slow. But this doesn't mean decline is unavoidable. Thanks to neuroplasticity, the brain can still form new connections at any age. Mentally demanding activities such as crossword puzzles, reading challenging books, playing instruments, or learning a new language help build cognitive reserve, a buffer that protects against deterioration. Staying socially active is just as important. A 2021 study of 11,000 older adults published in Nature Aging revealed that loneliness and isolation in the 70s raised the risk of depression and cognitive decline by up to 20%. Regular interactions, whether through family gatherings, book clubs, volunteering, or even video calls, lift mood and sharpen thinking. If you remain curious, engage socially, and challenge your mind with new experiences like cooking a new recipe or debating current events, you're actively fortifying your brain health. And remember, occasional lapses like forgetting a name or pausing to recall a detail are a normal part of aging, not necessarily a warning sign. However, if memory problems worsen, like getting lost in familiar places, losing track of conversations, or forgetting daily routines, it's time to see a doctor. Early evaluation, cognitive testing, lifestyle adjustments, or medication can help slow or manage decline. By keeping your mind active and socially connected, you're building a solid foundation for long-term resilience. Now let's turn to your heart health. What should you watch for? Pay attention to how your body responds to exertion and rest. Do you feel unusually tired or short of breath after a short walk or climbing just a few steps? Do you ever notice chest pain, tightness, or discomfort during activity, which could be a sign of angina? Check your resting heart rate by counting your pulse for 15 seconds and multiplying by 4. For most older adults, a healthy range is 60 to 80 beats per minute, though trained individuals may have lower numbers. Also, watch for swelling in your legs or ankles, which may signal fluid buildup linked to heart issues. Why does this matter so much? Because cardiovascular health is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Heart disease is still the leading cause of death worldwide, responsible for nearly 30% of deaths in adults over 70. A 2008 study in the Archives of Internal Medicine showed that men over 70 with healthy blood pressure, below 120/80 mmHg, and no heart disease had a 54% higher chance of living to age 90 compared to their peers with poor heart health. A strong heart keeps oxygen flowing to every organ, easing the strain on your kidneys, lungs, and brain. But when the heart weakens, the risk of stroke, kidney failure, or cognitive decline rises, all of which can shorten life. Aging naturally changes the cardiovascular system. The heart muscle may lose some strength under stress, while stiffening arteries push blood pressure higher, a condition that affects more than 60% of adults over 65. Lifestyle choices play a powerful role here. A landmark 2008 study showed that seniors facing smoking, obesity, and diabetes together had only a 14% chance of reaching age 90. In contrast, those who followed heart-friendly habits, like eating fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, significantly improved their odds. Omega-3s in salmon or walnuts, for instance, reduce inflammation and help regulate rhythm. Routine checkups are equally important to catch hidden issues such as atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat seen in up to 15% of people over 70, or high cholesterol, which can be managed with treatment and diet. And if you're getting at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, whether brisk walking, gardening, or cycling, you're giving your heart the best chance to stay strong and resilient. You don't need a flawless heart to live long. Many people reach their 80s and beyond while managing conditions like high blood pressure or mild heart failure through medication, diet, and exercise. But ignoring warning signs such as ongoing chest pain, extreme fatigue, or irregular heartbeats can be risky. Staying proactive with checkups and keeping active makes a real difference for longevity. Now let's look at body weight and nutrition. Ask yourself, is your weight stable without sudden gains or losses? Are you within a healthy range, not too thin and not obese? Take a closer look at your diet. Do your meals include colorful fruits and vegetables, lean proteins like chicken, beans, or tofu, whole grains, and healthy fats from olive oil or avocados? Or do you rely more on processed foods, sweets, or fast food? Appetite matters too. Has yours dropped sharply, or do you still enjoy meals? Nutrition becomes even more critical with age, as metabolism slows by 1 to 2% per decade after 60, raising the risk of malnutrition or unintentional weight loss. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that following a Mediterranean-style diet rich in produce, fish, nuts, and olive oil lowered cardiovascular mortality by 17% and boosted overall health. Obesity raises the risk of chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, which affects 1 in 4 adults over 65, along with joint problems and heart disease, each of which can shorten life expectancy. On the other hand, being underweight or malnourished can weaken immunity, reduce muscle mass, and often signal hidden illness. After 70, calorie needs usually drop to about 1,800 to 200 per day, depending on gender and activity level. But quality matters more than quantity. Deficiencies in vitamin D, common in nearly half of older adults due to limited sun exposure, or vitamin B12 from poor absorption, can sap energy, weaken bones, and impair nerve function. A varied diet of leafy greens, berries, salmon, eggs, and nuts supplies vital nutrients and antioxidants to fight inflammation and keep organs strong. Calcium-rich foods like yogurt and kale, paired with vitamin D, help protect bone density and reduce fracture risk. If your meals are balanced, colorful, and your weight is stable, you're likely meeting your body's needs. While supplements can help with specific gaps, whole foods provide synergistic benefits pills can't match. Hydration also plays a critical role, as up to 20% of older adults suffer from dehydration, leading to fatigue and confusion. And here's a reality check. Weight isn't the whole story. A 2013 JAMA meta-analysis found that having a slightly higher body mass index, around 25 to 30, may actually be protective after 70, providing valuable reserves during illness. Extreme thinness, on the other hand, can point to frailty or hidden conditions such as cancer or thyroid disease that demand medical care. By nourishing your body with wholesome foods and keeping your weight steady, You're building the foundation for a longer, healthier life. Now let's talk about the immune system. How often do you catch colds, flu, or other infections? And when you do, how quickly do you recover? Are you staying up to date on important vaccinations like flu, pneumonia, and shingles? It's also worth noticing whether you deal with persistent allergies or if your body heals from injuries and infections more slowly than before. Why does this matter so much? As we age, the immune system naturally declines, a process known as immunosenescence, which weakens our ability to fight off infections and makes even minor illnesses more dangerous. A 2019 study in The Lancet revealed that seniors who stayed current with vaccines had far lower hospitalization rates for preventable diseases. And if you recover quickly from illness or rarely get sick, that's a strong sign your immune system is still resilient. A strong immune system is one of the clearest indicators of overall health and longevity. After age 70, vaccines may not work as effectively because of immune decline, but they remain essential. In fact, the CDC reports that annual flu shots reduce the risk of severe outcomes, including hospitalization and death, by about 40% in older adults. Chronic inflammation, fueled by stress, poor diet, or inactivity, can further weaken immunity, leaving the body more vulnerable to infections, autoimmune conditions, and even cancers. On the other hand, seniors who rarely get sick recover quickly from small injuries and manage stress through practices like mindfulness, regular exercise, or enjoyable hobbies tend to have stronger immune defenses. Interestingly, aging can sometimes bring a small relief. Seasonal allergies often lessen as the immune system becomes less reactive to triggers. To strengthen immunity, focus on nutrient-rich foods high in vitamin C, zinc, and antioxidants, along with consistent sleep and stress reduction techniques such as yoga or meditation. Reality check. Catching frequent colds doesn't always mean a shorter lifespan. Some people are simply more prone to respiratory bugs. But persistent warning signs, like slow wound healing, recurring infections, or constant fatigue, can signal underlying issues such as diabetes, nutrient deficiencies, or immune disorders that require medical attention. If you notice concerning patterns, consult a healthcare provider for a full evaluation, which may include blood tests for immune markers or glucose levels. Addressing these issues early can greatly strengthen your immune system and improve your overall health. 6. Social connections and purpose. What should you look for? Do you keep in touch with friends, family, or community groups? Are you involved in meaningful activities like volunteering, creative hobbies, mentoring, or group gatherings such as book clubs or religious services? Ask yourself, do you feel a sense of belonging and purpose in your daily life? Why does this matter? Social isolation and loneliness are far more than emotional struggles. They are serious health risks. A 2021 study in Nature Aging that tracked over 8,000 adults aged 65 and older revealed that isolation accelerates cognitive decline and raises the risk of cardiovascular disease, including heart attacks and strokes. Loneliness has even been compared to smoking 15 cigarettes a day when it comes to mortality risk. On the other hand, a sense of purpose, commonly seen in long-lived communities such as Okinawa in Japan or Sardinia in Italy, supports mental health, reduces stress, and strengthens physical resilience. Purpose and connection act as protective shields, enriching both the quality and length of life. Research continues to show the powerful benefits of social engagement in older adults. A 2021 Journals of Gerontology study with 3,000 participants over 70 found that those who regularly interacted with others, through family gatherings, community events, or even casual chats with neighbors, reported better physical health, lower depression rates, and greater life satisfaction. The good news is that social connections don't need to be vast. Even small, consistent interactions can make a real difference. Joining a local walking group, attending a weekly class, or simply calling a friend can lift your mood and protect your health. Purpose can also come from modest yet fulfilling activities, like tending a garden, teaching a grandchild to cook, or volunteering at a local shelter. These daily acts bring structure, joy, and a reason to stay active. If you feel engaged and connected, you're already creating the foundation for a longer, healthier life. But here's a reality check. Constant interaction isn't for everyone. Introverts can still enjoy long, fulfilling lives with fewer connections. The key is quality over quantity. Having one or two supportive relationships can be just as powerful as a large circle. What truly matters is avoiding complete isolation, which is linked to higher risks of depression, cognitive decline, and even early death. If you lean towards solitude, explore simple, low-pressure ways to connect, like emailing a friend or joining an online community around a hobby you enjoy. For this purpose, choose activities that align with your values, even if they're solitary, like journaling or birdwatching. What matters most is that they bring a sense of joy and accomplishment. 7. Attitude toward aging. What to look for? Ask yourself, how do you truly feel about growing older? Do you face it with optimism and curiosity, or with fear and resistance? Are you willing to adapt, whether it's learning new technologies like video calls or apps, trying new forms of exercise, or embracing fresh routines? Notice whether you approach this stage of life with resilience or with dread. Why does it matter so much? Because your mindset toward aging can directly shape your health and longevity. A 2025 Guardian article summarized decades of research, including a landmark Yale University study, which revealed that people with positive views of aging lived up to 7.5 years longer than those who carried negative perceptions. Optimism lowers stress hormones like cortisol, reducing inflammation and protecting against conditions such as heart disease and dementia. A flexible, curious mindset also inspires habits like staying active or learning new skills that strengthen both body and mind. Feeling young at heart isn't just a cliché, it's backed by science. A 2009 NBC News report highlighted a study of 500 adults over 70, showing that those who embraced aging with enthusiasm had fewer chronic diseases and maintained better mobility. Adaptability plays a central role. Seniors who learn to use technology like Zoom to stay connected, practice gentle exercises such as Tai Chi, or take up creative hobbies like painting display stronger cognitive flexibility and physical vitality. On the other hand, constant fear of aging can create a self-fulfilling cycle, fueling anxiety, depression, and physical decline. Avoiding exercise out of fear of injury, for example, only leads to greater weakness, reinforcing negative beliefs. Simple practices like keeping a gratitude journal or reflecting on moments of resilience can shift perspective and nurture a healthier, more hopeful outlook on aging. If you approach life with curiosity, embrace change, and find joy in small moments, you're already paving the way for a longer, healthier future. Of course, it's normal to worry about aging. Health, finances, and independence can weigh on anyone's mind. But when negativity lingers, it can erode your well-being and raise stress-related risks. You don't need forced positivity, just balance. If mobility makes you anxious, focus on what you can do, perhaps a short walk or gentle stretching. Celebrating small victories or surrounding yourself with people who age gracefully can shift your perspective in an authentic, uplifting way. And there you have it, the 7 signs that reveal not just how long you might live after 70, but how well. From keeping your body strong and mind sharp to nurturing your heart and spirit, each choice matters. So, what lesson stood out to you today? Was it the value of daily movement, the strength of social connections, or the simple shift in mindset? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace always. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more insights on living your best life.